As Kia's first dedicated hybrid, the Korean automaker has given the Niro very good fuel economy, sporty intentions, and crossover styling. The purpose? To sell them, of course. And since its launch this year, it's been so far so good. Proof that it hits a sweet spot is best shown by how many people are buying them, and thus far the efficient compact crossover has jumped over 3 dozen entries in the US hybrid market to 4th bestseller through August. Available in 5 trims, the FE, LX, EX, Touring, and Launch Edition, they all borrow the 1.6-liter hybrid powertrain from sister company Hyundai's also new Ioniq Hybrid. The Niro, however, hides that 139 horsepower engine and motor drive in what Kia calls an unhybrid. It's an interesting design exercise. In the Ioniq, the same powertrain nets a Prius-beating 55 to 58 miles per gallon, and the Niro gives a healthy amount of its superlative fuel economy potential in a form people want. The Niro jumps into the trending crossovers class and shuns hybrid pretenses by avoiding a techie or pseudo-futuristic design. This, plus a dual-clutch automatic transmission instead of a CVT, help it feel like conventional cars on the road while still delivering relatively great miles per gallon. It's thus a bit of a niche product in the small crossover class. Not slowing down its acceptance has been whether the enlarged front-wheel drive only hatchback with interior volume comparable to a mid-size sedan is really a crossover utility vehicle. The US EPA calls the Niro a small station wagon, and there's otherwise no official definition of a crossover, but to Kia, it was important enough to at least insist that it is one. It's actually a bit of a hatchback by all definitions, but the body lines and the styling are mainstream, and the vehicle blends in very well with other cars on the road. Just a pretty snappy looking vehicle, relatively aerodynamic, but not as aerodynamic as the Ioniq. That plus the larger tires on this vehicle do sap away some of the fuel economy that you get in the Prius fighting Ioniq. Crossovers are in demand, and hybrid crossovers may be in even bigger demand, as evidenced by Toyota's larger, more expensive, and better selling all-wheel drive RAV4 hybrid, and Kia taps into that formula. Also helping along the Niro is a modest $23,000 starting price for the most efficient FE model rated 50 miles per gallon, with sticker prices climbing through the 20s to just over $30,000. Beyond the core powertrain, the car packs in decent comfort and quality of materials at its price points, along with expected infotainment and safety features, including available advanced driver aids and safety technology. A bit unexpected is the 7 mile per gallon decrease in fuel economy between the FE and the $30,000 Touring, whose mileage is pegged at 43 miles per gallon combined. This is mainly because the loaded Touring is packed with 200 pounds in extras, has wider, bigger tires, and a less aerodynamic profile with roof rails. All the variants are a solid proposition, however, and the mid-level trim rated 49 miles per gallon may be the sweet spot for most people, with more features included while still delivering extremely high fuel economy for a car in this class. Offering some utility from the crossover-ish design is a relatively large rear hatch area. 19.4 cubic feet with the seats up and 54.5 cubic feet with the rear seats down. You've got some luggage space back here. I've got a large suitcase in there. Put another medium-sized roller bag, no problem. I can go to the airport. And if I want more space for my trips to the store or what have you, I've got relatively easy to fold down 60/40 rear split back for that 54.5. Underneath the rear floor, which is rated at 130 pounds maximum, by the way, is where the 1.56 kilowatt hour lithium polymer battery is kept. Under the hood, 1.6 liter gasoline direct injected powertrain. It's an all aluminum blackened head Atkinson cycle engine merged with a 43 horsepower, 125 pounds-feet of torque electric motor. Combined system horsepower is 139 horsepower and pounds-feet of torque is 195. Unique in the vehicle, just as it is with Hyundai, is this is the first automaker to partition off the 12-volt battery, and it now resides in a section of the lithium polymer battery's space. The battery is covered by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. No longer do you have a 12-volt battery to service. The Niro is offered with a whole suite of advanced safety technology. Driver assist, optionally available in the upper level trims, is a blind spot detection, rear cross traffic alert, lane change assist, smart cruise control, lane departure warning, autonomous emergency braking, and a first for Kia is using its coast and guide and predictive energy control, which uses the vehicle's navigation system to analyze a driver's route and improve efficiency. There's 5 levels of the Niro, starting with the base FE that gets the maximum fuel economy. Even at the base level, it does offer a 7-inch touchscreen. It offers Apple CarPlay. When you jump up a little bit to the LX and the EX model, you're still getting 49 miles per gallon. And on come the progressive bells and whistles. On up to the Launch Edition and to the Touring, which we're driving here. This model, base sticker is just about $30,500, and as equipped, it's about $32,500. Kia has decided to depart from being a advanced futuristic design, and the vehicle basically looks like a Toyota from a few years ago. And very customary buttons and knobs, simplified layout, combination of hard touch and soft touch materials. Ergonomics are good. The seat's a little bit firm, but altogether a comfortable vehicle with, in this case, power seat. The passenger seat is not powered. Tilt and telescoping steering wheel. Excellent layout, clarity of gauges. With the upper level trims, we're getting an 8-inch touchscreen and a 4.3-inch screen in the middle of the gauge cluster. Also unique is the dual clutch transmission, which Kia has opted for to make this again feel more like a conventional vehicle. Sturdy looking conventional shifter that has PRNDL, as anybody would understand with any automatic transmission, instead of some little pod or other unique way of shifting the vehicle. So very traditional, and that was the purpose, to just make the vehicle look conventional and be like a normal car, albeit with one of the most fuel-efficient powertrains under the hood that is available anywhere. Okay, using the backup monitor, the vehicle starts off in default electric mode, assuming the battery is charged. On this hot day today, we're using the ventilated seats that come in this vehicle. They blow cool air through the perforation in the seats, and there's also a heated option as well for all-season comfort. The Touring model we're driving on has the larger 18-inch wheels, 225 width, and those are going to take away some fuel economy, but they're also going to give better braking and handling in return. There's still low rolling resistance, but that's one of the trade-offs that Kia opted for in the higher line Launch Edition and Touring Edition. The company's taken a lot of pains to try to mute down the sound. They've put acoustic foam in the B pillars, and they've put acoustic glass in the vehicle and really tried to mitigate the sound coming into the vehicle. It's relatively quiet. The job has been done pretty well. Sight lines are all good. The A pillars are narrow all the way around. I can pretty well see where I'm going and don't have any terrible blind spots. And if I do, this vehicle has all the advanced safety technology to try to keep me out of a jam. Power from the vehicle is respectable. 139 horsepower, 195 pounds-feet of torque. Give it some gas, you hear that engine start working. The power gauge will show you that you're sapping heavily into the juice. We've been averaging about 43 miles per gallon without trying whatsoever. A little bit more, a little bit less. If you were to just be a little careful, the vehicle can get up to 47 miles per gallon without too much difficulty, and that's the Touring model. The reports of the FE, which we haven't driven, are that it's well capable of going over the EPA rating into the 50s. So extremely efficient for a crossover. Kia has said that they chose not to make an all-wheel drive version in the interest of efficiency. Now, if they had put an electric motor in there, as Toyota does with its E4 system, that rear-wheel drive could have been only activated when needed, and that wouldn't have sapped the efficiency overly much, if anything. except for those lightweight addition. But that probably also would have affected the cost of the vehicle, so that may also have had to do with it. Whether you think you need all-wheel drive or whether you don't, that's up to you. All-weather tires are a help, and winter tires are advisable in snowbelt areas, and people have gotten by just fine for decades without the need of all-wheel drive, but certainly all-wheel drive does help in traction going forward. It doesn't help in braking, it doesn't help in cornering, but it does help in acceleration. Acceleration's brisk. It's quicker than a Prius, but timed 0 to 60 runs have been in the neighborhood of the mid-8s to low 9s. So the vehicle never really feels pokey, however. With the assistance of 125 pounds-feet of electric torque from the AC synchronous motor, it's got enough oomph to get rolling. Notable also is that there is a slight time lag. When you press the accelerator down, it hesitates for a fraction of a second before the control computer allows the fuel to propel the vehicle forward. Now, where Kia has tried to out-Prius the Prius and other vehicles and be competitive within a very competitive class of competent, small, utilitarian vehicles, is the handling and the drive. The vehicle drives and tracks on center more or less. It doesn't have particularly scintillating feel, but it's not at all boring, and certainly is a capable backroad handler. Handles bumps and irregularities in the pavement pretty well. Truth be told, so many cars are competent these days, they're all a variation on a theme. This vehicle fits well with what it's trying to be, and I think the icing on the cake is the fuel economy potential, which puts it in a league by itself and makes it unique, being sort of like an ultra-efficient green car, but it's in disguise.
The Niro strikes a balance of being relatively affordable to buy and to operate, and is nicely contented with excellent fuel economy. It strikes a balance, packing a lot in for the money, and is definitely worth checking out.